Hi everybody. So I promised that I would do a video after I was completed this project on how I remove the gridding, as I had a few people ask about that. So I did another video before showing you how I put in the gridding, and then this is how I take it out. As I mentioned before, I use Sulky monofilament thread, so it just slides right out. You cannot pierce this stuff with the needle, so you can see it's really, really easy to remove. It's the Sulky Sliver, that's S-L-I-V-E-R, not silver. So sliver like as in splinter. I don't know why they call it that, but that is what they call it. So yeah, super easy. As I showed in my video about when I put in the gridding, I just have it tied to my edges. So all I have to do here is very carefully just snip through those threads and then just ease that thread out and throw it away. And this is why during my videos I try to avoid stitching over the threads. It doesn't really matter because it is so thin, it will not make those stitches like any fatter, and then when you pull it out it would be loose. That is not a problem. And also you cannot stitch into this. You can't snag it with the needle. The needle just will not pierce it. It's not possible. I've tried and you can't do it. So I used to do this with ordinary sewing thread, but then I had the problem that it would snag. And in this, you can see, you can just slide this out super easy. I like to use the eye of a needle to ease it between the stitches. That way you're less likely to catch one of your finished stitches and accidentally pull it out of place. But yeah, just gently do that and ease it out. Don't ream on it because you don't want, of course, want to distort any of your stitching. But there you can see that it slides right out, and often every few inches I will just cut this thread, and then that means that I have less waste thread that I have to pull through here. So I've had some people say you could save this and use it for gridding another project, but I found it gets all kind of like twisty and curly. You can see from being pulled through the fabric that I didn't really find it feasible to save it. And one spool of the thread was enough for me to grid about 2.5, 3 projects, depending on how big they are. So it's not very expensive. So there you go. So super easy. It's just like, again, kind of time consuming, but it's not a problem. Like I said, I used to use regular sewing thread, and then you would get it stuck between the stitches and you would have to cut it really close and sort of try to pick the fibers apart to get it to release. And this, even when it's been completely stitched over like this for several squares, you can still just ease it out without any big problems. Right? So there you go.